I wish my TV provider let me pause.
Your front tires. So yeah, hopefully our IndyCars.com Chevy can handle a lot of throttle, and then hopefully I can commit to a lot of throttle. So yeah, it's always fun qualifying here at Kansas. I've always been close to poles, just have never gotten a pole here. So hopefully we can be a little bit better here today.
Does Jamie McMurray get on your nerves?
Does Jamie get on my nerves? No, I love Jamie. Jamie's the man.
There you have it, guys.
Well, I know one thing we won't have to worry about, and that's his commitment to the throttle.
No kid, that's what I was thinking as I watched that.
I tell you what you do have to worry about. I guess if you're a San Francisco 49er, is his allegiance to you. Because he was a 49ers fan, but my man Veach told me they sent him home with a lot of Chiefs gear for practice yesterday. He liked what he saw.
Well, we see Zane Smith finishing his lap here through turns 3 and 4. And he was actually right with Ty Gibbs as he came off the corner, and that was one of the cars 6 quick for Zane.
Yeah, and he said, even though that tire blew out, he's like, we had a great car in the long run, so obviously good car on the short run as well. Be a good qualifying spot for him. You know, guys, just to pick up, everybody's going to look at Ty Gibbs' data to see where he made that lap time up. Larson referenced, it seems like 1 and 2 you can I leave the pits, you kind of get a reference on your up to speed lap of what 3 and 4 can handle. As you see right here, what a lap right by the 7 car Justin Haley's got going.
Another Spire car.
But here it comes. Can he make it happen in 3 and 4?
Lower shallow entrance into 3. That hurt. Every single car has that right there if they get shallow into the corner. Flip side of that is you can jump the cushion and smoke the wall like Josh Berry did.
Well, 3rd quick for Justin Haley. Still a great lap for that 7 car.
Pay attention to that entry in 3, though.
Well, the other thing you need to pay attention to is the fact that, like we talked with the shadows, and when those shadows start coming in, you're seeing that up to speed lap start to get faster and faster for some of these guys as they're going into turn 1.
It can play tricks with your eyeballs getting into turn 1 too. See where that shadow's right up there against the wall, kind of where your right side tires go. That as that progresses down the hill, it's hard to find that wall.
I don't know about you guys, it always made me feel good when I would cross the start finish line and look down into turn 1 and see the shadow, knowing that the track was going to have more grip if I could get into that.
Whoa,
that's a commitment. Just stepped right across the line there.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Kyle. We expect that car to be in contention. One of his better racetracks, won here a couple times, in contention to win this race last year, spun out, and see it right here, just committed to the throttle.
Well, and we saw this, guys, with Denny, right? Like, slid up, we thought he got close to the wall, and Kyle just stepped over that line, and once you get into the wall, it just sucks you in, and it gets a little bit tighter off of turn 4. As you see, the A car looked like he got harder and harder into the wall as he went around there.
It didn't look like he lifted either.
He stayed committed, didn't he? Maybe a little frustration there.
Next car up is Ty Dillon here, coming to complete his lap. We talked about his race pace being decent.
About a 12th place last week in Texas.
Yeah, and I mean, and good lap for him right here, because AJ, his teammate, has been a little bit off, and typically when you come to these, you'll come with a similar setup. So the fact that he was able to put that together, it's a decent run for Ty.
Well, we talk about heartbreakers. This guy right here had the biggest heartbreak I've ever seen.
Biggest one I've ever caught.
Absolutely.
I was crushed for him.
That was one of the wildest race finishes I've ever watched. Kind of caught me off guard standing here up in this booth. But you see big speed through turns 1 and 2 for the 17 of Buescher.
Yeah, and we've said, you know, 3 and 4 is where you're going to make your money, but he's got a 10th in the bank as they head down to 3 and 4. See if he's able to carry that speed that the 54 had on exit. Look at how much Ty closed in through the middle, but I think he had enough
Had
stacked
some in the
up.
bank,
There you
didn't
go. What a lap.
Great job.
Top of the board for Chris Buescher, 29.44. So we're creeping in on those 30s, Jamie.
That 35 is looking more doable.
And that's what we heard the guys talk about. As you see Tyler Reddick come to the green flag right here, this racetrack is just going to get faster and faster and faster from weather conditions, from rubber off the racetrack. But this guy right here, we expect to be up front.
Look at how fast Buescher came to the green. You see him a car length ahead of Reddick, and Reddick can run wide open now through 1 and 2, but because you're a mile an hour or so off coming to the green, that carries from the start finish line all the way over here to turn 3.
There it is. Here we go. Ooh. That shows you there's some juice left to be squeezed in turn 3 right there.
Yeah, Reddick drove in just a little bit harder and was able to commit back to the gas. The track could be
really close.
doing that transition again. He'd like to have that up to speed lap back.
100.
P2 for Tyler Reddick. Todd Gillen coming to the green flag in his Loves Ford Mustang. See all these guys cutting that apron right there. Like we talked, you've got to do that for the distance. It's amazing the distance that it makes up in this car.
It's good for the distance, but it makes your angle into one not good. Like, you'd like to enter a little bit higher for a little smoother transition, and that's kind of awkward when you run low, come to the green, and you have to move up, hit that bump into turn 1, and it messes your angle up just a little bit. Look at his eyes.
He's having to lift quite a bit with his race car. Look how nervous he is with the wheel. Right here in the corner. He was sawing on that baby.
13th for Todd.
Radio silence wasn't ever good, I didn't feel like, after a qualifying lap.
No, never good, because there was nothing exciting to talk about. You had nothing good to say back.
Wasn't good news, that's right.
Daniel Suarez, he gets to the green flag pretty decent right there. He didn't lose as much as some of the other guys, but you see that distance kind of stay at about 1 car length from the Buescher car.
Yeah, Buescher's 3 and 4 up to speed were extremely good compared to everybody else we've seen. Just as soon as they crossed the start finish line, the amount of speed he was able to carry on the entry to turns 1 and 2.
It's not going to be the pole, but it's going to be a good lap for Daniel Suarez, and it's honestly just what the doctor ordered. Been on a little bit of a roll here, top 10 in the last 2 races, momentum, baby.
And I think if you're Ross Chastain, you're like, all right, we've definitely got a little bit of speed this week. John Hunter Nemechek next to take the green flag. And as we've seen, I think a lot of this, you talk about that up to speed lap, let's not forget getting off of pit road, getting to the top of the racetrack, all those little details. And as these guys see that 17 car of Chris Buescher have all the distance getting up to speed and through turns 1 and 2, they're going to find out exactly what he did to try to replicate that.
Yeah, and again, this isn't going to be a pole speed lap, but kind of like we saw with the Reddick, look at the speed he gained on the entry, but almost overshot the entry a little bit, going to pay the price on exit.
It's really helping these guys. These good runs last weekend, top 10 runs, puts them in good track conditions, ready to go.
Well, we see Chris Buescher on the top of the board. Can he stay up there? He's been so close to winning at this particular racetrack. Lost by 1/1000th of a second. Closest finish in series history last year right here at Kansas Speedway. So neither one of those guys knew.
I think he did a great job for when he went out of getting everything out of his lap. And if they do beat him, and what I'm trying to say is if they do beat him, it's conditions.
Well, either way, he's going to better the process of where he went out to where he's going to start this race most likely. So next is it's the house car. It's the prime car.
I like it. And fully committed, wide open on his up to speed lap through 3 and 4. And I don't think I've seen anyone be able to do that yet. We've seen a lot of guys through turns 1 and 2 be able to be committed. Let's see what Chase can do. You see, he got a pretty good run coming to the green, better than most. There's not much more that he could have done being wide open down there.
And I think a lot of that coming into the green now is going to be the off of pit road, but how high can you run?
Watch how close. He's closer than anybody has been to him. We know that Buescher ran a little bit low and gave up some speed, but so did he.
It's like he gives up a little bit of speed on the Buescher car. He gives up a little bit of speed from the end of that first third to the middle, but it almost kind of it seems like it evens out as he gets to the exit.
A little easy in, hard off.
Easy in, hard off. How many times do you hear that in your career?
Too many.
Well, I can promise you, you don't want to be easy in and hard off today. You want to be hard on the throttle all the way around.
All the way around.
Eric Jones on board with his spoiler cam right here. It's always fun to watch these guys.
Top 5 last week at Texas. Another good run out of this car.
Yeah, and legacy in general. They were
good last year.
Yeah, really good. Both those cars.
Right off the truck had good speed.
Big pickup from last year.
Ooh.
He's working. Took him out of the throttle a lot. You saw him really sawing on the wheel.
And it just doesn't do it justice. The commitment level, as you see Eric slide in here at P11, the commitment level at this racetrack is really as high as it gets. With having to run high, knowing that you need to be wide open, it's definitely all you can make yourself do. But the guy who can hold that throttle down all the way around is the guy that's going to get the pole. Austin Dillon had some solid finishes, putting himself way later in this qualifying session to give him an opportunity to have a better starting position, to have a better pit stall.
3 top 10s in a row out of this car. Go about that momentum.
It's a real thing. That momentum is a real thing. A lot of people underestimate the momentum that goes with auto racing in general, but it happens in this sport just like it does in any other sport.
Yeah, and Austin just could not commit to the, I mean, his up to speed lap was really good through 3 and 4, but on his time lap, he was just not able to commit to the throttle, ran a little bit lower.
This was my favorite car in practice. Really good long run speed. He got some of that Kansas City barbecue in him last night. That kind of surprised me that he was as fast as he was, to be honest.
I was going to say, that might luck you down right there.
Secret ingredient. I cannot wait to dive into some barbecue.
As you talked right here, Clint, he's as close as anybody has been. He knows how to do this. He won the pole here in 2023.
Yeah, I think if there's anything on the table to beat Buescher, it's right here in the corner. A little bit higher on his entry, cross back over.
Boy, Buescher's lap's looking better and better right here, as you see. Just that speed coming to the green, and now he's able to carry that all the way over to turns 3 and 4.
Well, Jamie, we're looking worse and worse with our confidence that all these guys were going to beat him too in Kevin Ash's. Can't say enough about the job that Ricky Stenhouse has done. I mean, I didn't see this out of this team this year. A brand new race team, and they are so far in the playoffs. Drove themselves in the playoffs with a great finish last week in Texas.
Great up to speed lap by Stenhouse.
Well, he's coming off of his second top 10 finish of the season, 6th last week at Texas, like you said. But they're doing that by keeping themselves in contention and finishing these races. And
he's right up there against the wall.
Lost a lot of speed right there.
Well, he had to roll out. Yeah, he got right up against the wall.
And either way, I mean, he's going to slot in here. Let's see.
I think he was
22nd.
He's 22nd right now. But either way, I think that's still going to be way better than if they don't have a good finish. I mean, that still puts him, instead of 32nd, there 22nd. So these late qualifying slots are definitely worth the weight in gold.
Can he do it? 4 poles. Can he make it 5? Going for 4 in a row is even more impressive.
Well, and Christopher Bell is the guy. He's the guy who started this high line, wide open. He changed the whole way that you look at qualifying from Kansas Speedway perspective with the first pole that he got, and he did that in the top lane.
Yeah, and you mentioned making the track as big as possible. He maybe could have made that, like, leaving pit road a little bit bigger, getting up to speed. But we'll see what this 20 car has coming off turn 4.
It'll show up quick right here, and you're going to see if he's behind that
he's
17 car.
Look at that.
So obviously he had a plan, he stuck with it, and it didn't cost him anything.
Yeah, and Buescher's got to be the most nervous about this guy, as Clint mentioned.
Look, he came off the wall a little bit on the exit.
A little bit behind, though, guys.
Tell you what, the speed in that 17.
Yeah.
Straightaway handling looked pretty impressive. There's the deficit that I was talking about. If there's anything on the table, it's getting into 3. Can he bring it back? It's close. Really close.
Second quick. 29.46.
Dodged another one, buddy.
Feeling good. Feeling good.
He knew that was going to be a good one.
He said that's a pretty good one.
Well, don't put this guy out either. Ross Chastain, we saw him carry that car last week on his back to a second place finish. Did a great job grinding it out. We saw his teammate, Daniel Suarez, P6. See him lose a little bit of distance through turns 1 and 2, so it doesn't look like he's going to be a contender for the pole today.
No.
Top 10, single-digit start here. Still some.
Oh man, he got close right there to the wall.
Ooh,
you can see the lap time. 2:10 right there, having to roll out in the middle of 3 and 4. He's going to be disappointed with that, getting to go out as late as he did, and as you mentioned, his teammate Suarez
23rd,
being in 6th.
Well, you see another guy that we talk about week after week that has a lot of speed, and that's this car right here, Ryan Blaney. Didn't see a lot of that in practice today with his practice speed, so be interesting to see how much he picks up.
Yeah, and his teammate Cindric is in 10th right now. It does seem like the later we went in the session, though, the better the guys have been up to speed compared to the 17.
17 stayed a little bit lower around that seam in 1 and 2, and it seems to be a big been a factor for him. Obviously, we've covered the turn 3, they get closer to him. But man, did he get it all in 1 and 2. And I think it was because he was just a half a car length lower, guys.
Just a little bit less distance.
P8 for Ryan Blaney, 29.59.
That'll do. A lot less cars have passed than we've seen out of here.
Yeah.
Wow.
As long as you can see the leaders.
That's got to feel good if you're him.
Well, last week's winner at Texas Motor Speedway right here, Joey Logano. Late in this qualifying session, didn't see a lot of speed out of this car, but that doesn't matter when it comes time for qualifying.
Now Logano's got a nice lap going right here, but you mentioned it, Clint. It's like the 17 is just a half a car length lower, and if you're wide open and you can carry the momentum, that distance is what you're seeing is the difference between Logano and everybody seems to gain right there through the middle of 3 and 4, but then
had to lift a little at the wall.
17 gains that speed on the exit. It's gonna be a decent lap for Logano. He's gonna be happy with that.
We only have one guy left to bail us out here, Jamie.
Well,
we are not looking very smart.
Yeah, fourth quick for Joey Logano right there, so that's going to be a way better starting spot than he had to deal with last week and won the race. But they're all going to have to dodge this guy right here, Kyle Larson. We saw a lot of speed out of this car. We know he's going to run right up against the wall, and there's not going to be any question about the commitment to the throttle.
You see it, he's actually similar line right there.
He's
little bit
lower.
It's going to all be
studying. Look at this.
Yeah.
He's ahead of him, guys.
It's going to be all about 3 and 4 right here. What can Kyle Larson do? How committed can he stay in the throttle? Look at that, drives in deep, really committed.
Is he going to pay the price?
And he got turned. He's going to get it.
The last car. The same guy that knocked him off.
Same
Oh
guy.
my gosh, that's got to be
I
hard.
am so sorry, Chris Buescher.
Kyle Larson beats Chris Buescher for the pole, and that's just got to be that's got to be a dagger.
Crusher.
Salt in the wound.
Well, you got those 30s, Jamie. Kyle Larson gets his 22nd career pole. Last pole was at Chicago street race.
He's already been on the wall. This is so Larson-like.
I'm gutted for Buescher. Man, to stand out there, we have the camera on him. We all know what that feels like.
Yeah, but the redemption.
One guy to
you wanted
go.
him to be on the pole from, the redemption from last year.
Well, you see, Chris Buescher and Kyle Larson will be leading this field to the green flag. Larry?
Yeah, Chris, I got nothing for you, buddy. But I know you had to wait it for a long time. Damn 5-car again, though.
Yeah, we couldn't have manufactured a better story if we tried, could we? So, you know what? That was a really awesome lap for this Kroger Queen Export Mustang. I'm proud of this group. Practice was really solid. Texas last week was awesome, so we came in here with a lot of high hopes, and it's surely showing up already. So, missed it by that much, but you know, we're in a good spot that'll put us in clean air to start this race and a track that we've been really good at.
So starting on the outside of the front row, good pit selection, but going back to practice, what did you feel like you had in this 17 car for the long run?
Yeah, it fired off really good and built a little bit free as we went, and seemed to be pretty similar to our teammates there. So that being said, I think that we've got a good plan to handle that and keep some rear security in it. You know, obviously we've seen a bunch of tire issues there in practice, so we're well aware of that after you know, our troubles last week. And but you know, overall, just a matter of getting it just a little bit more secure so we can keep pace a little bit longer. But it was rolling pretty good.
Good luck to you, buddy. Regan?
Well, Larry, Kyle Larson over here getting congrats from the team out of the car. Your 22nd career pole. You're making a habit of having close finishes at the end of whether it's the race or qualifying with the 17 car, but it looked like it was really good.
Yeah, pretty ironic, I guess, to have us both on the front row here after our close finish a year ago. So, yeah, it's cool to finally get a pole here, too, at Kansas. I feel like I've been just short a number of times, and I hope they still give out that pedal car, because that's what I've always wanted, and especially having some kids. So I hope that's still a thing. But, yeah, no, just proud of the whole HendrickCars.com team. Thanks to Chevy, the engine shop, Valvoline, everybody, Prime. So, yeah, off to a good start. Hopefully you'll do a good job tomorrow.
We'll have to check on the pedal car. We'll try and find out before we go off air. I got to ask you about tomorrow, Kyle. It's going to be very hot temperatures, hot, slick on the racetrack. You've already found the wall a little bit with the right side once. How challenging is this race going to be to make all the right moves all day long? Yeah,
it's tough. It seems like the pace is a lot faster, too, throughout the run. I mean, just in qualifying, God, we're
3/4 of a second faster than we were here in the fall with similar track conditions and temps. So, yeah, the tires and the cars and setups have all gotten better, and yeah, it's just a fast. I think it's gonna be a fast-paced race. So we'll see, but yeah, I know our car is always good on mile and a half. So just try to do a good job and execute on pit road and give ourselves a shot late in the race like we did last year.
Congratulations on the pole.
Well, if he needs a pedal car, I know I've got some that he can have.
You have 5 of them.
They take up a lot of room. Well, we saw Larson last year win by just a hair.
This is a huge victory here.
Today, this is like a massive win compared to the closest finish ever in NASCAR history. So,
hey, the deficit that he was up against, going against these guys that went out late, Kyle Larson, that just took him off the pole, that was a heck of a lap by Buescher.
well, you see these guys, Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher again on the front row.
Really good lap as early as he went out. Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez, we talked about him. Good run for Trackhouse, coming off a good finish at Texas, and Chase Elliott right there. Larson's teammate, going to start inside the top 10 as well. Couple Spire cars on row 6 with McDowell and Haley, and then outside of row 7, Clint, Denny Hamlin.
Really
sure he'll be a factor.
Was in that first group. Really good long run speed. You know he will be here. Bowman, really good track for Alex Bowman, that 48 car. Got some work to do, but he could do it.
Yeah, Corey Heim
Chastain
making another start in the Cup Series. Be fun to watch what he's able to do. Had to go out first car out. See Brad and Kyle Busch all the way back there in row 18.
In Allmendinger, he's really struggling right off the truck in practice. Qualifying wasn't good. Josh Berry obviously got in the fence. Another tough weekend for Brad. Let's see what they can do with it.
Well, you see our pole sitter there, Kyle Larson, first pole here at Kansas Speedway. So it'll be fun to watch those guys go race. Tomorrow it's NASCAR Cup Series racing from Kansas Speedway. Pre-race coverage starts at 1:30 Eastern, followed by Advent Health 400 at 3 p.m.